So John Keim has an article on ESPN.com. We have John on all the time, Commanders Insider. And I thought that this was the key paragraph in the article, which has to do with free agency and points out that, first 2 seasons under Peters, Washington signed 50 players in free agency, including 18 who re-signed with the franchise. Last season, they signed 24 players. 14 were re-signs. And in 2024, they signed 26, 4 who re-signed. So there's been, a lot of moves. But this was what I thought was the critical paragraph. As one team source said, while the Commanders won't spend recklessly, if there's a player they want who commands top-of-the-market money and is considered a good fit, they will spend.
That's what I need. I need that.
Need to hear that.
I need a top-of-the-market kind of guy.
Yeah.
I told you, I want a big, giant Christmas gift.
Because Adam Peters, look,
bicycle.
You want him to be fiscally responsible and not overpay, but he realizes that, if he wants to keep his job going forward and DQ wants to keep his job going forward, they need to be contending for the playoffs in year 3.
Yep.
They can't just be like, you know what, we're going to spend $40 million of our cap money and sit on the other $45+ million, whatever it winds up being. No. You gotta. I'm not saying you spend it all, but you should spend about $75 million of it.
But
you got to make a big splash.
You'd be surprised how quickly the money goes,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the issue,
Right?
Because they could sign a bunch of sort of second-tier guys, depth guys, and spend a lot of that money,
Right.
But they just need to get a couple studs.
It's just a different season. So he points out, season 1 was about establishing the culture and the foundation. So they signed a bunch of vets like Bobby Wagner, Ertz, Austin Eckler.
Yep.
That established culture. Then in season 2, because of their success, they basically ran it back. They only added 2 guys on multi-year deals via free agency. That was Will Harris and Kinlaw. So they basically ran it back. But this year, top 5 in cap space, they're expected to be a major player.
Right. I mean, right now at overthecap.com, they have right about $70 million, and I don't believe that includes the, I think,
Lattimore.
17.5 or $18 million when Lattimore is officially released.
Right.
So that's going to get them tickling $90 million in cap space.
Right. Plenty of money to make a splash or 2. Jason's promised me 2 splashes.
I promise you.
I need at least
I'm
one.
gonna if they have $90 million in cap space, I'm gonna say Adam Peters spends $70 to $75 million of it. I don't think he's gonna leave a lot on the table. I think he needs to go out there, and if he has to overpay in a few spots, maybe do that just to land the players you want that other teams are going to be in contention for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he doesn't want to overpay, but if it's a crowded market for 2 or 3 players, might have to pay a premium.
Let me give you a couple of the groupings here that John's got outlined here in his article. All right, as far as pass rushers go, will they sign one of these guys? Jalen Phillips, Trey Hendrickson, Boy Mafi or Adafi Awahu, whatever.
Owe.
Yeah.
I think it's Owe.
Or Jonathan Greener. Will they sign any of those guys?
I'm going to say yes.
They'll sign one of those
They'll
guys.
make a splash to land one of them. I think they're going to try for Jalen Phillips to try to make themselves better and hurt the Eagles in the process. I think it would be a great move.
What about offensively? Will they sign one of these guys? Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Romeo
Dobbs.
It's weird spelling.
Dobbs.
I guess Alec Pierce might be available. Isaiah Likely I'll throw in there.
Rashid and Shaheed.
Yeah. Will they sign one of those guys?
Yes.
So they're gonna give me
an edge guy and a receiver.
Or tight end.
Splash.
Wide receiver,
Or
tight end.
Splash
Yep.
edge guy, splash receiver.
I think the edge.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't agree with Cakes. I don't think it's going to be any of those guys you just named.
So they won't land
So I just
one
named
of those
10
guys.
They're going to get 0 of them.
0.
So I'm going to get no presents. I'm going to get like a Nerf soccer
no.
ball.
You're going to get like
You might get-
You're
what
going to
if
get
you
like
get Trey Hendrickson?
You're going to get. He
named
mentions
him.
in the article.
I named him.
Okay.
He mentions in the article the tight end. You're going to get Chig. Is that his name?
Chig Okonkwo, yeah.
You're going to get
Tennessee.
Chig, and then you're going to get Owe. Is he a defensive end?
I did mention him.
You did.
mention
Okay,
him.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't retain Owe.
Yeah.
I don't hate
right.
Look, if you're
That's
looking
fine.
to save money and not
It's a
spend,
mediocre Christmas.
if you're looking not to spend top of the market tight end money, I kind of like Chig Okonkwo. I know this is the weird concept. He's an offensive tight end that catches balls instead of being good at blocking. This team seems obsessed with loading up on guys like John Bates and Ben Sinnott, who are good blocking tight ends. We need a good receiving tight
Conquo
end.
last year had 56 catches.
With trash cans throwing him the ball.
only
For the
2
most part.
touchdowns. Only 2
What about
touchdowns.
Kate Otten? Kate Otten's pretty good.
I wouldn't hate that either. He's not as sexy as like
No, he's
Isaiah
not.
Likely.
He's not. But if they decide to spend money at receiver over
Well,
tight
you know
end,
what? Give me David Njoku. He's a very capable tight end
Yep.
that had to play with a bunch of bad quarterbacks in Cleveland. You think he wouldn't thrive with Jaden throwing him the ball? I think he would. He's out there. He's available too. Just bring some of those guys here that can catch 50 or 60 balls and score 6 touchdowns at tight end.
You saw the numbers that they're saying that Likely's going to get, right? That was a big article that went viral.
I mean, I've seen numbers that they're projecting for him.
Yeah.
Like in the $13 to $15 million a year
like
range.
a 4-year, $50 million deal,
Right.
something like that.
Yep.
That's still in our realm.
I mean, it's very doable with the amount of cap space they have. But again, if they don't want to pay that money, you could probably get a Conquo for half that money. So if you're looking to save a little bit and splurge elsewhere, I can take a cheaper tight end.
I'm not as interested in saving as I am producing. I'm more interested in producing. I'm okay with spending.
I'm okay with spending too. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
it's not-
Josh Harris's
it's
money.
not your
it's not
money.
my money.
Yeah. Spend.
Yeah, spend.
Spend it all.
Yeah, I don't really need to be that fiscally responsible. Kind of tired of that, actually. I want to be. I want a little irresponsibility.
It's your money. You paid for it.
Right? I want to be a little loose with the purse string.
Yeah, go on a shopping spree.
I want to have an Allville Christmas. I don't want to have a Bickle Christmas.
I'm curious
please.
to
You act like I was Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons.
You always had big Christmases. Ours Christmases were nubs. Yours were always much better. I was always jealous.
Also, your mom was still wrapping presents like at 9 p.m. on
we
Christmas.
we had nubs Christmases.
It was like spread out.
Yeah, Cakes had big Christmas.
Well, 9 p.m.
Look, we had,
did.
you guys were too busy going to church and like celebrating God during Christmas. We had a pagan heathen Christmas. Actually, I should say my mom was religious. She would drag us to church.
Yeah, but it didn't have
Now-
anything to do with religion. It
now-
was just you guys, but you had nice gifts. You got nicer gifts.
We had very like middle class Christmases.
You had an Atari. I had an Odyssey. He had a.
I can't help
What's the one with Parsec?
I can't help
TI
you.
99.
He had a TI 99.
I can't help that your parents neglected you when it came to video games.
Yeah, my parents.
I mean,
no,
what,
didn't-
what can I do
he
about
had
that?
Great Christmas. I was always envious. A kid always had a new bike, something. Something cool.
I had a
You know what's
Huffy. I had a
crazy?
Nubs Huffy Pro Thunder. It wasn't that great.
I had a used hoop that was probably worth $5.
Did Atari have a game
I
called?
had like a Valdez bike.
Did Atari
Yeah,
just
he and I
have a
had the same
game
bike.
called Adventure?
I don't know.
Something like-
You're asking me about a video game system when I was like 9.
I remember how like fired up I would be to go to his house or to our guy Benji had an Atari as
Yeah.
well because they had an Atari. And looking back, those games were so bad.
They're terrible.
There was one game where I think we just chased dots in like a little maze.
Yeah, but you know what? It was 1980.
Pac-Man.
At that point, it was
No, not
No.
Pac-Man.
it was cutting edge technology at that point.
What was the football game? It was 3-on-3. It was what was the original?
I don't know.
What was
I
that
have
called?
no idea.
You don't remember? It was 3-on-3.
So we were.
Yeah, and they
we
were like shaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
At this Marriott, like it's weird in Disney, in Orlando. It wasn't Disney, but it was in Orlando. That we rented a Marriott. It was an apartment complex. Okay, but Marriott owned it.
Sure.
And it was brand new. It was a 3-bedroom. That's where we stayed while we were there for the tournament. And it had a little resort there, and I guess it's for people to go. You spend a week and do Disney stuff. We happened to be there for volleyball. In the kids' room, there were 3 bedrooms, 2 adult bedrooms, and they had a kids' room. It was a theme and everything. They had an arcade game, stand-up arcade game with like 80 different games. Okay, and they were all the
You could be there for
old-school
hours.
games.
Blood flow.
What's the first one you'd fire up?
Miss Pac-Man.
I feel
They
like
were
Cakes was a
playing-
Galaxian guy.
They did play
It's
that.
more of a Galaga guy than Galaxy.
They played, but my daughter
Donkey
and my
Kong?
friend's wife, they were playing
Asteroids.
No, they were playing Miss Pac-Man, but you could play
Pac-Man.
2-person. Have you ever seen that before?
2 Miss
Yeah.
Pac-Man.
You could play 2-person.
Yeah, I've seen
And so
that.
and that made it kind of fun, right?
Yeah,
so,
of course.
They did that actually for a decent amount of time.
Oh, but you could kill hours with that.
You could kill hours with that.
Of course.
In the evening, your long day, you go play some video games.
Jason,
great.
I just
Old school.
see
Love it.
the old school Atari game was just called football. Atari 2600 football.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I played it all the time.
Man, we are dating ourselves.
I was 10 years old.
Still
Don't you remember the M Network baseball?
I would get a little blood flow if I played Space Invaders right now.
Sure.
Just because that's
Missile Command. Oh, so
I wasn't as
silly.
much into Missile Command.
Centipede,
Space Invaders
you
was my
sleep.
game.
So many
Yeah.
great games back in the day.
But
Wasted so many quarters in the arcade.
It is shock. You know what I would play? Turbo.
Turbo, you great early driving game.
Pole
you sleep on
position.
pole position
Oh,
a
I love
little
pole
bit.
position. No, I love Turbo Pole. Spy Hunter.
Do you know how many quarters I stole from my parents, and then I would go to People's Drug Stores before it became CVS?
Yeah.
I'm really dating myself. And
Yeah.
would play Defender, Joust,
You could
Tempest,
get you should get
all
one of
the
those.
sillies.
You get one of those systems that has like 1,000 games for probably like 50
yeah,
bucks.
but it's like I need
Not the
I
same.
need the stand up.
The stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
The stand up
makes
did make
better.
it make
Yeah.
a difference.
Oh, but you know what else was
You
premium?
put one in your basement?
Here was a premium. This is a
I'm
premium product. When
Only
you
buy
went
golf
into
stuff.
when you went into an old school Pizza Hut, and they had the sit down tabletop.
Oh, those
Miss
were great.
Pac-Man
Those were
or
great.
or Galaga.
Yeah.
It's just you just sit down and play Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It's greatest ever.
Or Donkey Kong
Or
is a
Donkey
sit-down
Kong is a
one.
great one
Pac-Man.
too.
I played one time with my daughter or whatever. This Pac-Man just gives me anxiety. The freaking as soon as you hit the
power-ups?
the power thing,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
ghosts disappear so quick, and I'm chasing them. I was
Yeah,
getting too anxious.
You never feel more alive than when you're chasing the ghost in Pac-Man and it's blinking blue
Yeah.
and white because you
You're
know it's
right
not,
about to buy it.
Yeah, you just you never feel more alive.
You gotta
Oh,
pull
you know what
back
else they were
sometimes.
playing? They played. I introduced it to my daughter. Old school Donkey Kong.
It's fantastic. It's a great game.
That was awesome.
So it's so great.
Love mud pies.
Love mud pies. You love getting the hammer.
We never got to the
just
mud pies.
and just bashing the barrels with your hammer. Love it.
Jason, what do you think they're going to sign on Monday? Position-wise. Your
Receive
splashes are going to be at what position?
Edge.
Crazy donkey.
You know what? I'll say defensive. I'm just going to say defensive back.
I think they're going to
Because
sign
I
a
know-
DB.
I'm going to say defensive back and receiver.
Durante Jones is a DB-oriented guy. They're going to sign a DB. That's going to
Jaquan
be a
Brisker,
priority
come
for
on
them.
down.
Because they might go edge in the draft. I mean, I can see him going edge in free agency, but I would say defensive back, receiver. Because I don't think they're going to take a receiver at 7. I think if they went offense, it would be Love if he was there.
You do? Over,
If he was there, but I
what
think
if
they're.
Love and Cornell Tate are there?
I think they'll go Love.
I think they're going to go Love.
Don't you think they
can
need to
pick.
groom? This is probably Terry's last season, barring some sort of
Yeah,
restructuring
but
and great deal.
I think that they can look at that in free agency. Just my guess.
You don't
But
think they want a
but
young
if I had to put
receiver?
money, I'm sure they do.
I think they do want
But I
one.
wonder if I could put my money on it. I'd say they're going to go young edge rusher in the draft at 7. I don't think it's going to be Tate or Love. I mean, Love might be gone.
I think Love's not going to be there yet.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll go Tate there.
Because
Just because I think that they can look at that position in free agency, and these edge guys are going to be. I mean,
I think if
they're
Sonny,
very attractive.
and I think if Sonny Styles falls to 7 and doesn't get picked in the top 5,
Yeah.
they would take him.
Yeah,
Styles over Downs.
Now Downs has the advantage of he's a safety, and Durante Jones comes from being the guy that was running the secondary. For
I think
Flores.
they might take Downs. Styles strikes me as more. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just looks like he's so long. It just looks like maybe like a weird combine freak more than.
I think he's
know.
going to be productive when he
Well,
gets in the
he's-
league.
Dude, that defense was the best defense in the country.
I know,
They
but
didn't
it's
even
just-
allow 10 points a game.
It just looks so
They-
long to me. I don't know.
He's just an athletic
I think
freak.
that's an advantage. I
I
don't
wish he had more sacks.
It's a little skinny.
I know
Yeah,
that
but he's a
that's
middle
one
line,
stat.
he's a
I
middle
get it.
linebacker. It's not really his
He doesn't
forte.
look like. He doesn't look like. I don't know. I'm a little bit thrown by him.
You need
Like
your
a-
middle linebackers to look like London Fletcher
Maybe
or Bobby Wagner.
A little more squatty.
Short and squatty.
A little, yeah, he's a little long for the middle linebacker for me. But I don't know anything.
I'm okay with him not fitting that body type if he's a stud and he's productive and he helps you.
I think
keep
I also,
teams
I'm
off the field.
biased because I saw Matt Patricia just jocking Caleb Downs.
Right.
Saying he's going to be your he's going to be your leader of your defense.
Has Matt
immediately.
Patricia had a glow up? Is he losing a bunch of weight? Looked like he was skinnier.
I wouldn't doubt
Probably.
it.
Everybody is.
Because he was a big boy with the
Not
Patriots.
me, really.
Yeah,
Trying.
Well, you're eating cookies at 8 in the morning.
I was
see ya.
hungry.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. By the way, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
starve like the rest of us, JP.
How are you doing on your way? You got your big rehearsal dinner tonight.
Yeah,
Did you have your-
Saturday. I haven't weighed myself in a few days.
Are you
So we'll see.
down
I think
10?
I'm good.
You think you're down 10?
I think I'm around there, but
Have
I don't
you tried
know.
the suit on?
I have not got it back from the dry cleaner.
All right.
Big moment over the weekend.
You're gonna have
He's sucking it in for
are you gonna
48 hours.
Are you going to one of your guys to trim the beard, make it look silly?
Uh-huh.
Or are you
Yeah.
just doing it yourself?
I got tragic news that my guy Jonathan might be on a vacation. I might have to pivot, or God forbid, do it myself.
Do it-
Have
yeah,
you
do it
worked on your
yourself.
smile? Because we also have
My smile's on lock.
No, but you're not going to do the.
My smile's perfect. As
me
long as
see
I'm
the-
not doing
Let me
this.
see your
that's
smile.
what
Let me see your
I'm
smile
Hold
now.
on. here's-
Come on.
Because Tuesday we have publicity
Yeah,
photos
I'm
too.
gonna be, I'm fine.
do?
I don't
Yeah.
know what to wear, but I'll be here for that. Here's a smile. Can't show all the teeth. You look like a psycho.
Handsome guy over there.
That's my move.
Coming up next, Chase Hughes on the Wizards and Trae Young's debut.
He's got bullets fever.
That's next here on the Junkies.